What's up, everybody? Call us if you'd like. Questions or comments about the show, join in with us. 877-77-BOBBY. That's the number, 877-77-BOBBY.
Bobby's Big
Stories.
An iPad leads police to the rescue of an 11-year-old girl that was abducted in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
A missing 11-year-old girl was rescued after authorities say they were able to find her location thanks to her iPad's geolocation.
Hey.
Pennsylvania state troopers were notified of the missing child on Sunday, who was last seen riding her bike towards Young Wood in western Pennsylvania. Authorities arrived on the scene, found the girl's bike near a gas station, where a bloodhound team picked up the child's scent. The child was found later that day, and police arrested 43-year-old Keith Lillock, charging him with luring a child into a motor vehicle and interference with the custody of children. But they tracked it because of that iPad.
Wow.
So
And she was
smart.
riding her bike, so I'm glad she had it with her.
Yeah, I wonder if it was in a backpack or something.
Right. Or in a basket.
That's from USA Today. If junk food is your vice, it might be because you are brainwashed by the food. I'm listening. According to a new study, eating food high in sugar and fat rewires our brains to unconsciously prefer delicious but unhealthy treats. Researchers say our brains learn to prefer foods such as candy, chocolate, cake, cookies, and chips, and that our brains respond positively when fed them. The study concludes that our brains learn to subconsciously prefer and crave these fatty and sugary foods even after we stop eating them. I mean, this is my life story.
Yeah.
This is the next chapter of the book. Stuff I like to eat by Bobby. It's all that stuff. I haven't had any sugar, at least any sort of processed sugar. I've had fruit in almost a month now because I've been doing Whole30.
That's about to end, though, huh?
Yeah, but I think I may have turned it into Whole365.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Well,
no chance.
The
But-
whole year.
You know, the beauty of your brain is you know what you're doing with that the last 30 days.
You don't want to know the beauty of my brain. My brain's an idiot.
Well,
It tells me lots of stupid stuff that ain't true. It gets me in trouble. It does good stuff. But also, my brain loves all the things they list. Candy, chocolate, cake, cookies. Chips, I like chips, but I don't like savory as much as I like sweet. My wife and I were talking about it this morning. I was like, I cannot wait to have just something with sugar. And she was like, I cannot wait to have something with, like, big carbs.
Yeah.
Because she likes bread. I like bread, too. I love cake, and she loves bread. So that's probably what we're going to do. First day out, we eat all cake and bread and eliminate all the good we've done. All right, that's what's up. That is from the Max Planck Institute for Metabolism Research.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that existed.
Same. When it comes to having their coffee, some people reach for half and half or milk, and some people put hot sauce in their coffee.
What?
And it's somewhat common, more than you would think. And as strange as it sounds, a lot of people use hot sauce in their coffee, which, again, I've been drinking just, it's water and espresso.
What do you call that? Americano?
I call it
Yeah.
bleh. But I don't hate it as much, but I'm not going to stick to it. I thought, well, I don't hate it as much, so maybe I'm starting to like it. I don't think I'm going to turn that corner, but I'm okay with drinking it if I need to.
your brain hasn't rewired to that yet.
Yeah, it's reminded my brain that it tastes terrible.
I've heard of cayenne pepper before, but not hot sauce.
Same thing, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, I think that's, you just put something hot in there.
Same
I know,
effect.
but a liquidy versus a powder.
That's from Well Plus Good website. Are Americans getting dumber? That's the question. The latest research says that American IQ scores have dropped in the last 15 years, consistently.
Wow.
Great.
Adults are receiving lower IQ scores on logic, vocabulary, visual problem solving, and simple math, but higher IQ scores on TikTok dances. No, I made that second part up.
That's funny, though.
But that's what it is, right? We're just getting sucked into dumb things for 15, 20, 30 seconds at a time. Our attention spans are shorter. We don't have patience for anything. Therefore, we're not learning anything. We're all guilty of it.
Sure.
Education experts say that's because our phones and the internet do a lot of things for us. Oh, I can't get
Yes.
anywhere. My GPS. All right, I'm going to go to the garage, GPS it.
In your house.
Yep, don't know how to get there. I got to use the GPS for everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Me too.
I don't know a single phone number, which I think is common with a lot of us. But yeah, technology. But here's my theory. As they go, technology's making us dumber. What I feel like it's doing for me is it's saving a lot of space for other smart stuff.
Like what? And what are you
TikTok
using that?
dances.
Exactly.
Dancing is good for the brain, memorizing something.
Yeah, I hear you, but not TikTok dances and
Right.
watching them all the time. You're
Yeah.
not actually learning them, you're just watching
yeah.
them. The internet will solve any problem without us having to look it up.
Yep.
It will also, with having the internet and all the little fun apps and stuff, you read less. You give yourself, less time to comprehend things. If you don't get it, you just move on.
Dang.
So all of that is making America dumber.
I know. I kind of want to talk to teachers because I don't get it. I see my kids, if they don't know how to spell something, their computer does everything for them, or they ask their phone, hey, spell this for me. And I'm like, no, we need to sit with this and let's look it up.
And I think that's okay if you use that as a tool to actually learn other stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think technology is bad at all. It's just how we use it. And I think every generation's had the same problems, just it's a different form of it.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine the first time they got a set of encyclopedias, the old folks are like, they just get a book, they get to go look it up.
That's not fair.
That ain't fair to us. We had to go out on the farm and dig a hole and look in the hole and see what we found. So it's common with every generation. You know, as things change, everything stays exactly the same. It's just you got to learn how to deal with it now and how to make sure that you don't take advantage of yourself.
I mean, there are words that I misspell on my phone when I text, and it autocorrects it, so I never learn how to spell it.
Yeah, Eddie's like, hey,
But at this point,
Eddie's like, what the duck? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Where's the duck?
Not that word. I know how to spell that one.
Oh, that's the one. I thought it autocorrected that one.
No.
A Houston woman says that squatters changed the locks and then took over her home with a phony lease.
I don't get this.
A Houston woman claims she's been locked out of her own property by squatters who changed the locks, drew up a fake lease, and now refuse to leave. That she went to check on her property that she'd been renting out for $3,600 a month after she got a letter from her HOA saying, hey, you got to clear the leaves out of the driveway or we're going to fine you. And that's common. At least for me, I got fined all the time for bull crap like that. When she arrived, she found trespassers living there at the home with a contract they say another landlord gave them that was not her husband. She said, I had the keys with me. I walked in. I discovered a family of 5 living in there. And they had a lease. And they emailed me the lease contract. So they were living on air mattresses. They've changed the locks twice since being discovered. Quote, they broke into my house. They're trespassing. This should be a criminal trespass. The woman living in the home claims she paid $6,000 to a realtor to live in the home. They can't find the realtor from what I could read in the story.
Yeah.
Houston police officers were spotted on the scene, but an arrest was not made after they determined it was a civil matter that had to be resolved in courts.
Oh, my goodness.
Similar to many other squatter situations that have popped up across the country.
Wow.
Squatting
from Fox
is,
News.
I don't get it. That's one thing.
So there
that's
are
very
people
confusing.
that like drive around and say, hey, that house has been empty for
It sounds
2
like it.
months.
I never really talked to folks that do that.
I don't know anyone that does that.
Me either, but it's always in the news, and I do hear about squatters' rights.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain people have rights, and I think this should not be it. There are certain rights we need to make sure
Yeah.
that we enforce, and it's not squatters.
Yeah, it
So
shouldn't be
weird.
that you just make yourself stay there long enough to where suddenly now you have a right to be there. It literally doesn't make sense.
Well, you will have to go eventually, but you have to go through the whole court process, which will take months and months, which means you get to live there for months and months.
I know. And
It actually ain't a bad deal. It's a good work if you can get it. You can find a place to squat, I guess, But I feel like if this were happening to me, I probably would not handle it well or maturely.
what would you do?
Hire somebody to get them out and not know anything about it.
What do you mean you not know anything about it?
I don't know anything about what you're talking about right now.
Interesting.
But I would probably have somebody get them out. It wouldn't be good.
Okay.
But I don't know anything about that. But I mean, wouldn't you all feel like that? Like, this is my house.
Yeah, that's
I own
crazy.
it. You need to get out. So get out.
Yeah, just because it's empty doesn't mean you can have it.
So crazy. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Sometimes these people squat when it's not even empty. Someone's just out of town for a long time
That's
and
crazy.
they move in
Well,
and
that's called breaking in.
No. But
But if someone's living there right then, you're breaking into a house.
Yes, but I can't remember. We had a story one time where it's like it was their home and they were out of the country for a while and they came back and the squatter.
In the basement, in a whole basement, which they weren't living.
So
Yeah,
crazy.
That's weird, yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm likely ending with season 12. I looked it up. Larry David's net worth is around $400 million.
Wow.
Because Seinfeld had 9 seasons, still makes a ton.
Yeah.
And then Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is such a good show, if that's your thing. And 12 seasons of anything
That's
crazy.
unheard of.
It is. Well, it's unheard of too now because, there are no. Back in the day, a show would go into syndication, you make a ton of money.
Sure.
Seinfeld will be played on tons of networks all over the country. That doesn't happen anymore because there's no need for syndication. Because you make a show that you put it up on streaming.
On the World Wide Web.
It just sits there where there's not all this content that networks have to fill now because people are going and just watching stuff on demand, so you don't have to pay for any sort of syndication.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'll do 2 more. A traveler uses an Apple AirTag to hunt down a thief who stole $3,000 worth of his luggage from the Atlanta airport. And when he got there and he found him, the person was wearing his clothes
That's crazy.
from the suitcase.
This is a luggage squatter.
A traveler recovered a suitcase, which is crazy that he would even track it down. But
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not brave. I'd probably hire someone, not ask any questions. Hey, go track this down. I don't know anything about it. But then when he found him, he was wearing all the clothes. Right then, he must have had some good stuff in there.
Well, it's like if they stole your bag and you saw a dude with all this Arkansas stuff on it. Like, that's my stuff.
Yeah. No, man, I didn't take it. It literally says Bobby on the back of the jersey. That's wild. That's from the Daily Mail. And he put an air tag into his luggage, which we do too, in case we ever lose it. And then we can call and go, hey, you got it. It happened to us. Where we're like, it's at the Miami airport. We can see it. Oh, it is? Okay, hold on. Let's try. Oh, there it is. Okay, we'll be sure to get that back to you.
Wow.
Thank God we had an air tag, or I probably would have never got it back. Dolly Parton and Garth Brooks to co-host the 2023 ACM Awards. That's a pretty monster set of hosts. It's the 58th Academy of Country Music Awards, taking place on Thursday, May 11th. They call it Country Music Party of the Year. It will stream live exclusively on Prime Video from the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas.
So Prime is that's the only place
Yes.
we can watch it? Okay, gosh.
It's the second year. And I watched it last year. And yes, it is new and different because it's on streaming. And you're like, wait, do I watch it live? But yes. That's the situation.
Was there a year? What was the year that maybe you were?
As a few years ago.
Not on.
Have I talked about that on the show? I don't think I have.
I don't know.
Were they called like, hey, we want you to host? And then like right before, never mind.
I don't know if you said that.
I probably did.
Oh, sorry.
I talked to them this year, but I always knew that they had, listen, you can't be upset at Dolly and Garth hosting anything. But I had a couple of meetings with Amazon, I think just in case they didn't want to do it, which they felt like they were going to. But yeah, I think I had 2 meetings. And they were like, well, we don't really want you, but if you're there, I guess we'll take you.
Well, that's weird.
No, they didn't really say that.
Oh, okay.
But Garth and Dolly, there's nothing better.
That's awesome.
That's like I guess you could put Reba on there. If you're like the best people in country music, period. Dolly, Garth, Reba. Who else would I put up there as like the king dingalings, the queen dingalings of country?
Brooks and Dunn.
Mm-hmm. They've hosted before.
That'd be funny up there.
George is the king.
I'm not just talking.
George.
No. I'm talking about people that would be good hosting it.
Gotcha.
Like big personalities, also great country music.
Yeah.
Because Dolly's so funny.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Luke's too young. I mean, it's got to be the Bones of Johnny Cash.
Oh.
Put that up there.
Hologram.
Yeah. That'd have been better than the Bones of a hologram of. All right, that's the news.
Those were Bobby's Big
Stories.
Thank you. We welcome you to be a part of this show. In just a second, I want to talk about a concert I went to last night. It was amazing. I want to talk about somebody who had a lifetime pass to a concert, to one certain band, and it just got revoked, which is pretty funny. And then if you had a lifetime pass to an artist right now. But I want you to think about this. Don't pick somebody that isn't touring ever or is super old, because that pass goes away if they die.
Oh, yeah.
You got to factor in all this stuff.
Okay.
If you got one lifetime pass to one artist for any concert the rest of their life, who would it be? We'll come back next. Went to a concert last night. Went to watch Ben Rector at the Ryman Auditorium. It's amazing. He's amazing. It's an acoustic show, which, by the way, was my second acoustic show in like a week.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's
I'm all
true.
acoustic all the time. Who needs power? That's why I say, let's do this stuff old school. It is amazing. I'm a big fan of Ben, and he plays, he has keys out, and he said, all right, I'm going to play a 90s country song. And I'm like, all right, what's he up to? And he starts to play Travis Tritt, Great Day to Be Alive.
Ooh.
Just on piano. It was so good. Here you go.
It's a great day to be alive, and all the sun still shining when I close my eyes. There's some hard times in the neighborhood, but why can't every day be just this good?
And the crowd did all the,
Was that you singing in the background there?
I think it was the whole crowd, actually.
Okay, I was going to say, you're recording. Don't sing, Bones.
I know, because there's another clip where I was, and it was a little too close to the phone. And I'm like, I think I'll go me a Fu Manchu. And I'm like, oh, I can't use this. You can't even hear him.
Yeah, we
Too
wanna
close
hear
the
him.
phone. So it's an amazing show. Like, I had the greatest time last night. We got home at a reasonable hour, which I can always appreciate. If I go to a show on a weeknight, it ends before 11. I think he went on at 8:20, was done by 10:30.
Yeah, not bad.
Really good. He gave all of his merch sales. The live stream he donated to make sure that the kids who were in that school shooting could get therapy.
Oh, awesome.
To pay for, so great show. He really, played songs that not only were reflective of that, but we also had a great time. We did some 90s country. If you get a chance to see Ben Rector, go see him. Just really, really good. And so we were leaving, and I read this story about Owen Wilson because he had a lifetime concert pass to go to the Rolling Stones, but he ended up with a buddy, and they were backstage, and somehow he ends up on stage, and they pulled the lifetime pass.
Oh, no.
Oh.
What a dummy.
Which is funny. So he's just like, I was hanging out, and all of a sudden I'm on stage, and then they had given him a lifetime pass because he's a massive Rolling Stones fan, and they pulled it. Which is hilarious that they pull it because you're on stage.
Yeah, he abused the power.
I guess. They didn't have a backstage pass his whole life, but I wanted to know if you guys had all time, for the rest of your life, you had a pass to go to any artist that you want. There are certain things that you want to think about. You want to think about their age. You want to think about how much they tour.
Right.
So all that in mind, Eddie, who would you go?
Yeah, I thought hard about this because, they are older, but I love them, and they travel the world. Like, they do.
But you'd have to travel the world, too. It's not free.
Oh, I know. Oh, I have to pay for all that?
Well, yeah, I know. It's just you get a
I
pass.
gotta get
anytime.
there?
Yes. Yeah.
Dang. Okay, well, I still got to go with you two.
It's a beautiful day.
I mean, if you go to one of their shows, Bones, it's a production. It's like a corporation at work. There are like probably 40 crew
He's
members.
not a U2 guy, really.
Okay.
40 crew, that's a tiny show.
40 crew members?
Yeah. They're
Oh.
like 1,000.
Well, I'm talking like 100 trucks. It's crazy. They have 2 stages, one to get to the show before. So
100
like,
trucks, 40 people.
Well, that's all. Yeah, that's.
okay, maybe my numbers are wrong
And that's
there.
every stadium show, pretty much.
Okay.
They advance it. Garth does that, too. They have one that goes and sets up while they're doing one.
And then if I had the
He's
lifetime
like, and
pass.
they got an amp? An amplifier?
Okay.
They use airplanes to get to the show?
I'd probably be friends with them too, right? If I had a lifetime pass?
that would get your pass
Or
revoked.
they would scare you. You would scare them.
Here
This
we
guy
go.
bought a lifetime pass. So, okay, here you go with U2. They have a tour crew of about 300 people.
Wow, I was way off.
Way off, yeah.
Oh.
Lots of trucks.
Not 40?
But you do like U2.
Love you too.
You don't think, though, that they're too old, that you don't get to use it that often?
I think they're going to keep going for another. I mean, look at the Rolling Stones. They're half the Rolling Stones' age.
Yeah, but that's the band that continues to go when everyone's like, wow.
I know.
Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Good for you. I like U2. I don't love U2, but I like U2.
I think I can get probably 15, 20 years out of them.
I like slow U2.
What do you mean? Like
I like
with or without
the
you?
slow songs from U2, yeah.
With
Like
or without
those I can
you.
feel. I don't like the anthemic stuff. Same thing with Coldplay.
Yeah, you
I
said that.
love Coldplay. I don't like when they add dance music to their songs, and I don't like the upbeat stuff. Make me sad. It's like Kenny Chesney. I don't care about the beach, Kenny. Make me cry, because you can do that.
Wow.
I need to hear. I need emotion.
That's your emo, Kenny.
I love emo Kenny. Beach Kenny? Pass. Emo Kenny? Let's go.
It is interesting that he has 2 different Kennys.
Yeah. I'm
No.
all emo Kenny. If
Yeah.
it was like emo Kenny live in concert tonight, I would go. If it was like Beach Kenny live in concert, I'll sell my tickets.
I'd buy them. I love
Yeah,
Beach
Eddie would
Kenny.
buy too. Yeah. Amy, you get one artist.
Oh, she is young. She is amazing and super talented, so she knows she's going to last forever, and it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
that's really good.
I was watching some clips of the Taylor shows where they were filming like the ushers, security guards, and and there's like a compilation of them all just dancing and singing along too.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
the shows are so cool and so big. Mine would be Chris Stapleton, because Chris is my age, maybe a couple years older. What, Chris, like 44?
Yeah, I would
45,
say he's about
something
our
like that?
age.
I'd pick Chris Stapleton. That's the kind of show I like. Chris doesn't come out. He doesn't need a crew of 250, 300 people, Eddie.
40.
All he needs, he doesn't need 40 people in 100 trucks. Chris shows up. It's him, his wife. He's got 2 players.
Yeah.
And he just plays one great song after the next. And then he gets on his plane and goes home, takes care of the kids. He's on the road doing a lot of gallivanting, a lot of unhealthy living. I go Chris Stapleton.
Kind of your style.
I just want to sit there. Chris Stapleton acoustic, now we're talking.
Oh, man. No electricity?
Now I'm getting turned on. Chris Stapleton, no energy, no power. Oh.
Well, out of the 3 of us, I think yours is realistic. You could probably get one of those.
Oh.
Just call him. Hey,
Lifetime
man,
pass.
I'm here. I'm still living. Can I come to your show? Yeah, Chris Stapleton is 44 years old. Am I about to be 44?
No, you're about to be 43.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm 44.
I'm forgetting what age I am.
It's crazy, right? I had to think about it, too. After like 25, who cares?
Well, I did. I still do.
Oh, okay.
I hated 30. Ooh. I had a
but-
mental breakdown right at 30.
Yeah.
Why just...
It wasn't.
It was
bad,
just
though.
like I'm out of my 20s.
Yeah.
And like the John Mayer lyric says, I was only good at being young. I was always like the whiz kid of radio. And then all of a sudden I'm getting older and I'm like, well, I guess I'm done. But the 30s ended up being the best decade of my life
Yeah.
until the 40s hit. And now I don't have enough in yet, but this has been pretty awesome. But what if it's not? What if I get to 50 and I'm like, man, 50's below?
No. I think you only have amazingness ahead because you've.
Well, that's good to think, but
Well,
hey, I've seen some folks who stopped their amazingness a while ago.
Sure.
I've
seen
you've
that,
started so many new things, like with being a husband and then
Oh, yeah.
potentially being a dad. Like
too. That
there's-
hasn't happened yet, dude. That's going to be huge.
right. Like this is good stuff.
You got a lot coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm looking down the barrel of a gun.
It's not all about being the youngest guy in radio.
No, I know it's not. It hasn't been that since for 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of my career was. I was like, oh, oh, look at this guy. He's 6,
Yeah.
and he's doing the show
Yeah.
on 50 stations. And I'm like, Mama, Dad. Now I'm about to have another birthday, and I'm like, what the crap?
Yeah.
But the good thing is about I'm going to be 43 is I don't care about the number. Now when it gets to like 49 or 50, I probably will get back to caring again. But this is like a non-eventful. It's like 28.
Yeah. Just
There-
random.
There are certain 28s, 36, 37, 43 that's like just a day. But 29,
Yeah.
Scary.
39, those are like recheck your life type stuff.
What age do you feel?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good question. 22 and 60.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
the same
depending on the
time.
day?
Your
No, at the
bones.
same time.
Oh.
Like my total feeling on what I can still do, not even professionally, what I can do physically, I was all 22. Big dreams, still super motivated. The world's against me, and also the world is awesome if I bend it that way. But also at the same time, I feel like I've been through a lot of crap in many ways, and I've learned, and I'm 60 years old. So both. I think there's some elements of my life I had to grow up very quick, and some where I didn't mature. I think it's tough for my wife sometimes because I have the emotional maturity in a relationship of a 15-year-old sometimes because I wasn't ever around a successful relationship. I never saw a couple stay married. Like I didn't have a model ever. And so to actually be doing it for the first time, it'd be like somebody who plays professional baseball but never ever saw somebody good at baseball. You're like, well, how did you do that correctly? Well, it's hard. You do it wrong a whole lot. But it's hard to be a major league player when you've never seen anybody play baseball good.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the life that I'm living now, where it's like, I don't really know how to do this. I don't know how much you're supposed to invest in these certain things. I know, and my fallback is always, well, I can just go work more, because that's what I would do. Single Bobby, wake up before, computer screen up, start writing, do the show, do whatever. Computer screen goes down probably at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Go back to sleep, do it again. Easy peasy. But I didn't have to develop in a lot of ways because of that. So maybe I feel 15 and 70. I'm going to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite the difference.
Yeah, that is quite the difference. All right, you guys can call us if you want. 877-77-BOBBY. That's what's up. We got somebody who wants to talk about squatters living in their house.
Oh, good.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, not good for them, but I want to hear how this was handled.
Yeah, for me, I like it. For them, it sucks.
Yeah.
And then also listeners with their lifetime pass, who they would have it to go watch. Back in a second. We're talking about a woman. She owns a house. It's a rental house. And nobody's in it until she finds out somebody is in it, but they're not paying her rent. So she goes and they're squatting. They're living in the house, and they claim to have a lease with somebody else. And the cops won't kick the people out because squatters have rights too, apparently. There are people in this country that don't have rights, but squatters do?
Makes no sense.
That makes no sense at all. They're not paying anything. It's not their house. Show me. Well, that's the person you're paying. If you're even paying them, they don't own the house, so you can't live there. So maybe the right is you have 1 week to get out because I don't want you to be homeless. You have 1 week, and you're obviously lying.
Yes, obviously.
But I'm going to still give you 1 week. It's crazy that squatters have rights. I'm going to go over to Angela in Texas. Angela, squatters lived in your house for months and months. Is that true?
Yes. Good morning, studio.
Morning.
Yeah, so we put our house up for sale in Colorado, and we had to move to Texas for jobs. And so we left the house, pretty much empty. And our realtor that was handling the sale basically called us and said, did you guys move renters in? And we're like, no. And they're like, well, there's people living in your house. So we called the police. Police said, sorry, it's a civil matter. You'll have to take them to court.
Crazy.
So we had to get a lawyer. We had to pay court fees. And then we get in front of the judge, and the judge says, well, do you receive mail at this house? And the squatter says, well, yes, I've got proof of that. And he says, you'll have to evict them. I can't do that here. You'll have to file all the eviction paperwork and come back to court. And I'm like, but it's my house. I can show that it's my house. He says, it doesn't matter. They get mail there, so it's their house, too.
This doesn't
So I
make
would just
sense.
go and sign up for a bunch of bullcrap mail immediately
For
in an
sure.
empty house. I mean, that sounds like... I don't understand. I'd probably need somebody legal to help me understand why this is allowed. If you can prove that I own the house, they don't own the house, they're not paying me, they're living there. It just feels like it should be A to B. Now, obviously, someone has found a reason to make it not. I just don't know. I don't understand that. What do you think the reason is, Angela, that they don't kick them out once the judge even knows it's not their house?
I'm assuming that we have enough homeless people in the world, and so they kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. But we had to pay an attorney to go to court with us, and we had to file all the fees. I mean, it was $1,500 for the attorney. It was, $1,200 for court fees, and then our flights in and out of Colorado. I mean, it cost me bukus of money, and I recovered nothing. Took me 6 months because everything was backlogged due to COVID. So it took us 6 months to even get in front of a judge for it.
How
And
did you
then-
get them out? Did you evict them, and did they leave?
We evicted them. We had to go to the day of court. We showed up. They didn't show, and the house was abandoned. We had to go in and clean it and repair whatever they had damaged to get it back on the market for sale.
Maybe I fake a court date and say, you got to come. If you want to stay in this house, you can. I'll fake a court date, fake a courtroom. And then be like, here's your court date. This is your judge. All actors.
I guess on Zoom you could.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Just say, put somebody in well, you can't dress like a cop. But have
Can
somebody
you
go
dress
up-
like a judge?
Well, I dress like an attorney.
That's what I'm talking about.
Someone go up and knock on the door, put a note in there. Hey, you do have squatters' rights. So they're not going to kick you out, but you do have to go to court to prove that you get mail here. And then I put the court date there, then they're never going to go. They're going to move out. I would probably use a technique like that. I'd probably go zig to zag. But then if otherwise, I'd probably get somebody and I wouldn't ask any questions. You know what I'm saying?
That's your favorite method.
No question.
I know questions. though. No question. The reason I looked this up, the main goal of squatters' rights is to discourage the use of vigilante justice. If landowners were allowed to use violence or the threat of violence to evict a squatter, the situation could quickly escalate and become dangerous. Well, that's on them.
Right.
Because they're the ones basically breaking into a place. That would be like, if a robber's in your house, I don't really want you to shoot him because that's encouraging vigilante justice. So a robber has rights while he's in there.
No.
No, they don't.
Don't come in my house.
Now, there is a threat if someone's in your house that they're going to steal or hurt you. But again, how do I know the squatters aren't kicking holes in walls and
Right.
stealing? It does not make sense. They could be damaging property. They could be stealing from you by doing that.
Could this be where the squatters found a loophole and
Also, squatter's a funny word that makes me laugh. I'll be
Yeah.
honest
Yes.
with you.
because they're squatting?
Yeah, I don't really like to think that's a funny word because I don't like them. Squatting, you poop. It's funny.
They're pooping in your
Yeah,
house.
it's like a lot of people in the corners pooping.
But yes, Eddie, I think that they do. Somehow they've become aware of the loophole and they know, like, okay, we need to get mail here. We need to stay here this amount of time and then we're good. And, if you're at court with these people, I don't know if they were ever in the same room, but I feel like I would just look at them and say, hello,
But if I were the squatter back, I'd be like, you're lying.
No, you're
It's
lying.
my house. I would just say
Yeah.
whatever they're saying to me, I'd say back.
That's what they're doing.
And I'd do where someone does a movement to see if the mirror person's doing the same thing they're doing. I'd mimic their movements.
Just repeat everything they
Yeah,
say.
everything.
You're living in my house. You're living in my house.
Easy. I'd be pretty good at squatting now that I think about
I
it.
get mail there.
I get mail there.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
Thank you for the call. I'm sorry that happened, Angela, because it sounds like you lost a bunch of stuff and you really got nothing out of it except what you already owned and deserved.
It's true. But thank you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, see you later.
That's stressful.
Yeah, we should call them like losers or something, not squatters.
Oh, yeah,
Squatters
yeah.
too funny.
Moochers.
That's kind of a funny word too. I like to name things I don't like after funny
Okay.
things. Let's go over quickly and talk to Emma in Oklahoma. Emma, we're talking about a lifetime pass if you had one to watch any artist. Who would it be? Emma.
I would absolutely go with Scotty McCreery 100%.
I didn't say hall pass. I said lifetime concert pass.
Yes,
Okay,
I know.
just making sure. Scotty McCrae, so why?
I have always loved his music, and to see him live and be able to just go backstage whenever I wanted would be amazing.
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't add backstage passes, everybody, just for the record. Am
That's
I
not part of it?
hypothetical? Yeah, you don't get backstage passes.
But that's what Owen Wilson had.
But that's
And then he
Owen
got
Wilson. Then he got
his-
kicked out.
Taken away.
But you know what? I didn't say you couldn't have backstage passes, so why not?
All right.
All right, why not? Emma, thank you for your call. We appreciate that. We also love Scotty.
Absolutely.
All right, bye-bye. Let's go to Caitlin in Virginia. Caitlin, you are on the Bobby Bone Show. What's happening?
I want to go see, I have a lifetime pass to see Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, that would be a good one, too. Why Carrie? What do you love about her?
I've seen her 5 times now, and I just love the fact that off stage, she's a gardener and a mom. And think about it. She has her Vegas residency. She always does a fan club party. Majority of the time, she's at CMA Fest. She does her Opry shows, and she goes on tour. You would see her all the time.
You'd be constantly at a Carrie show.
Yeah.
Every day of your life. Be like traveling with Fish or the Grateful Dead. You'd be a Carrie Harry.
They're Care Bears.
Care-
They are.
Yeah, but a traveling Care Bear.
Yeah, what would that be?
Who cares? A car bear. Yeah. All right, thank you. Janet in Oklahoma, one final call here. Janet, we appreciate you calling. You're on the Bobby Bone Show. Hey.
Good morning, studio.
Morning.
I just wanted to call and wish Bobby Bones an early happy birthday because we share the same birthday.
So you want a birthday back. You
Oh,
ever see the
well,
scene in
no,
The
I
Office where Michael Scott's like, oh, hey, happy birthday. And she's like, it's not my birthday. He goes, oh, happy birthday, Michael. Oh! It's kind of what that feels like. Well, happy birthday to you too, Janet. All serious. That's awesome. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but
Yeah, no, double nickels. Hey, I'm turning double nickels. And also, my best friend we share the same birthday also. He is just a couple hours older than me, and he is radio DJ out of Kansas, 96.9 KKOW, Shotgun Steve Kelly.
well, Shotgun
So
Steve,
I
happy
want-
birthday to you too, buddy.
Yes, so happy birthday to you and to Shotgun Steve Kelly. And I noticed that Amy had said earlier this week your birthday was on Saturday, but it's actually
Sunday.
on Sunday. I
Yeah.
caught that.
Classic Amy.
Amy.
Classic. I thought the
Classic.
second was
I love you,
Saturday.
Amy, though. I
Okay.
love all y'all.
Thank
and,
you.
If I ever had lifetime tickets, I would want to go see Bobby Bones. So
You can
there you
have that
go.
for basically $10. Lifetime pass. That's all you want right now. Yeah.
Play a
Good
game
deal.
with her right now. Give them to her.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to old Shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
All this weekend.
Happy
Thank-
birthday, guys.
Thank you, Janet. Hope your day and hope your weekend's awesome.
And y'all. Okay.
right.
Thank you. Y'all
All
be
right.
blessed.
All right, you be blessed.
I
Too.
love
Bye-bye.
she says double nickel.
All right, thank you guys.